sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes. Good morning, good morning. Oh my goodness, another beautiful morning here in Santa Barbara. I'm so excited. We're starting up a new section to Teen Sports Radio. Now, 12 years we've been doing this? I'm really excited.
Long time.
A little on the stall with what's going on, but now we're going to be back full force. And when I was thinking back on who would I want to be the first person and give, let's just say, some royal love, it had to be Abe Jahadami. Dr. D, you remember Abe?
I do indeed. He was on our very first program. Absolutely. It's great to have you back.
Yep, he was our actually first guest. Sal Rodriguez brings him in. Mm-hmm. And of course, Sal is a Hall of Famer himself. Vet, he's got his, I don't know of a lot of guys that's got a name on a building, but Sal's got his name on it. Leaders definitely supported that decision. A lot of love to Sal. Hey, what is the magic mustard? Because if I look around, not that it's not if I look at Dan Peters, he's now gone off to another school. We had Joe Chenoweth. He's since not at Santa Barbara High. You've been at San Marcos for how many years now?
This is my 34th year at San Marcos and my 18th as athletic director.
Okay, so that's a book, right? I mean, seriously, that is a book.
Have Ed come out and he can write the book. He could ghost write it or just write it.
Give that some serious thought.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, ears must have been burning because Ed, he talked about it on the radio. You were so instrumental into his whole piece that we really want to send some Teen Sports Radio love to you because you made it happen, and it really, I think, made the community aware of just how deep and how strong your program has been over the years.
Thank you.
Definitely. So what I want to do is, why don't we do this? This is we have in the house Shakir. Little love here for Shakir Ahmad. Look at him, senior basketball player. Why do we pick Shakir?
Thank you for having me.
Shakir is our school leader and is involved in so many things here at the school. He's the rally committee guy and he's a straight A student, way over a 4.0. And so just a natural leader, and he is a good athlete, but it's the brains more than anything else.
Nice. Well, I heard the schools on his wish list, and they're all powerhouse schools. So let's get right into it, because I know you guys are very, very busy. So Shakir, I'm going to let you guys, this is your piece, okay? Teen Sports Radio just wants to give you guys both a welcome and a lot of royal love. So who do you want to talk about?
All right, well, thank you. Like you said, I'm Shakir. I'm Christian Athletics at San Marcos, as well as the head captain of the basketball team. And I'm here with the segment called the World Recap, just going over some of the sports from this week. And starting off with girls tennis, Natasha Gill, she's actually chosen as our McDonald's Athlete of the Week this week. She swept all her single sets and helped carry the Royals to win a 15-3 match. So congrats to her. Give her a hand.
Woo! I love it!
And on top of that, we had our big girls volleyball game against DP. It did not go to plan, so to say, but I feel like the next game they come out, it's going to be a great game. Last game was a great game, just didn't work out in our favor. So good job to them, but they're going to get the next one. I'm sure of it. They're a great team. They've been playing hard. And this week has been our big rivalry week against DP. We played them in tennis and we played them in volleyball so far. And coming up at the end of this week, we play them in football. So that's going to be a big game. So we're hoping to get all our Royals out there wearing red in the stands. And we're just hoping to get another win where I think we're in favor. So I'm excited to watch it. I'm going to be there. It's going to be great.
Yeah. That's what I love about this. Is awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. Oh, my God. Well, we want to give you a little surprise, Shakir. If you're up for it, we'd like to make you the the poster child for the school. What that entails is just give me your bio and give me a picture of yourself. We'll slap you up. You could be the teen king for San Marcos High School. We've had a lot of great student athletes over the last 12 years. The last one was a 4-year of one of my heroes, Alexandria Marks, and we had her for 4 years here on the show, and she's, I think, just about ready to graduate at Berkeley right now. So yeah, if you want to do that, we'd love to. It's great college resume stuff, let me tell you.
I would be honored to. Yes.
Well, we're honored.
San Marcos co-host.
Yes. That's what we're on. And of course, Abe is welcome anytime when he wants to add a little extra love. He's got 5-10 minutes on a Thursday morning, Tuesday morning, Saturday morning. Whenever you have time, Abe, okay, you're in the house.
I have a quick question for you. How can parents and how can the community support you? What do you want us to do?
I think radio shows like this are great. I think for all three schools, all three public schools and the private schools, anything positive that goes out about the good things that the kids are doing and the coaches are doing is just always so welcome. And so if you can continue doing that, you've supported us big time.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, Abe, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. We don't like have coffee together, whatever, but you have always supported the show. Anytime I needed a kid or a coach, I send you an email, and nobody has never not shown. And I got to say the same thing for Joe Chenoweth and Dan Peters. And it's because of the efforts that you have given and the support that you have given to Teen Sports Radio. It's magic. It's definitely supposed to be here for sure. And we also have some space. I believe we did a little cleanup on the commercial side. We donate commercials. If you have a favorite nonprofit or a favorite business, there's no strings attached. You could just throw Dr. D a large T-shirt. That's good enough. Some exchange of energy. Okay. So you just let us know, Shakir or Abe, if you want to do that.
Dr. D is going to be wearing a Santa Barbara Dawn shirt. Okay.
Oh, that's what I like. I like that. This is what we try to do.
I can wear both. I can.
We mix it up.
We'll make like a patchwork shirt, a patchwork shirt that he can
that's
trade out.
Yeah. So Shakira, you play basketball anywhere right now? Are you on a club?
Yeah. Besides the San Marcos basketball, I'm on the Dream Chasers team. Our San Marcos coach is the coach of that as well. So we have a lot of the same guys playing together. So it's just extra work for us getting in. So
how do you think you're going to be doing this year?
For club or for San Marcos?
San Marcos.
San Marcos. Oh, we got it this year. This is our year.
Really?
Together. Yes, this is our year. Our team.
He's calling it early. Well, you're going to be here, doing the game, the play-by-play.
All of us are putting in work. We've been there every morning practicing, and we just have a lot of guys who are committed to the team. So this year is going to be great for us.
Do you play varsity?
Yes, I've been on varsity since my freshman year.
Have you played against? Sorry, I have a frog. Have you played against on our club team is Luke Zupaletto and Carter. They're on the Santa Barbara varsity team, but they're freshmen, and they're playing on our varsity team.
He played as a freshman too.
But we played against them in summer league and beat them. So that's all I know about
that.
I know.
Spank!
That's all.
Bang!
This isn't something, baby. This is a new.
I love it.
I could jump right into this. I want to give some kudos to Abe anyway. But 2 weeks ago, I did a segment on crosstown rival football game between San Marcos and Santa Barbara High School. And Abe was instrumental in helping me put that segment together. Gave me access.
That's why it was all about San Marcos winning. Now it's all coming together for me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. San Marcos won that game back in 1965. And so, I made that the focal point of if only I had known 2 weeks ago. But Abe helped me out. He gave me access to newspaper articles, which gave me the information to put that together. So I just publicly like to thank Abe Jahadami for all his help. And, he's helped us, and I think we ought to support him, support the Royals Athletics.
Well, his longevity, it speaks for itself, okay? You can't do what he does if in your heart you don't love kids, period, the end. And so let's do this. We're out right now because we've got a lot of commercials, but I'm looking forward to having a monthly recap. Every single month, Shakir, you're in the house. We're going to give you the royal love. Abe Jahadami, lots of love, best. Anything you guys need, let us know. Let's take a break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
I am the Options and Disaster Services Specialist for the Food Bank of Santa Barbara County. And wow, I got that in one breath. That's pretty amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about step 2 on earthquake preparedness, and that is planning to be safe by creating your emergency plan and deciding how you're going to communicate. One thing that we always forget is, what's going to happen? We might not be together all the time. And especially when it comes down to disasters, it picks and chooses what it wants, not when we're ready. So we got to think about, everyone in our household do the right thing during a violent shaking of a major earthquake, hopefully. But before the next earthquake, get together with your family, your housemates, and plan now what each person will do before, during, and after. Once the quake is over, we will have to live with the risk of fire, potential lack of utilities, and basic services, and so the certainty of aftershocks. By planning now, you will be ready. This plan will also be useful for other emergencies, not just one, but all. Planning for an earthquake or other emergencies is not much different from planning for an event or a vacation. Just make sure that your emergency plan includes evacuation and reunion plans, your out-of-state contact person's name and number, the location of your emergency supplies, and other pertinent information. And finally, have occasional earthquake drills, like the one that's coming up October 21st. If anybody would like to participate with the food bank, we're going to be doing the food bank shakeout, which we will be participating in the great shakeout with the Tire California. So it's going to be pretty fun. It's going to be done virtually and then obviously in-house. So practice your drills, evacuating, especially with your kids, make it fun. There's a lot of things that you can do and have them participate. So remember, don't forget about your 4-legged friends or your 2-legged friends. And don't forget about your kids. It's always very important that you don't forget about them. So remember to plan now to be safe during an earthquake. Practice your drop, cover, and hold on. And how you're going to respond by keeping maybe some shoes, flashlight, and a closed under bed bag. It's always really important. And if the power goes out, make sure you eat the ice cream first. Other than that, make sure that you guys participate in the drill. Again, like if you would like to participate in the Great Shakeout with the food bank, you can go ahead and email me at arodriguez@foodbanksbc.org, and I will send you the link to the shakeout. Thanks a lot.
Yay! Nice job, Anthony. Yeah, I've got to say, Dominique and I both have a bug out bag because if anything bad happens, we've got a bag, a kit. It's just not too many things. Set of clothes, water, and I mean, we just went through the whole thing and then restocked it, put in fresh water, and all that, both in the back.
The other thing is the meeting place. I think that's so key because I have to remind my family constantly, okay, where's the meeting place? And they'll all be like, what, home? Well, no, at the Earl Warren Showgrounds, because that's exactly where they'll have a place.
Erica's house.
But you're not going to be together.
Erica has food.
And your phone works. You don't know. So.
Right. That's right. Remember, text before.
I like what Anthony says.
Always remember
text
that.
Before
text before talk. Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
What did you say, Anthony?
I like Anthony's.
Text before you talk. So basically, it's better to text during a disaster because that will continue to try to go through. But if you call, that's not going to keep on ringing. It's not going to keep on trying to make that call. Plus, two, you'll be blocking the lines when other people and emergency services need it. So it's always really important to text first.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And then also have the small denominations of currency.
Yep,
so
you don't want to pay $100 for a bottle of water.
Right.
Yep, absolutely.
Good chatter right there.
Well, we have to mark our water bottles at our house because we have drinking water and then we have water that's been opened and it's used for other things that you need water for. And if everything gets turned off.
Yep.
Yeah, and remember, you gotta know when to turn off your utilities, because you're not all the time you're going to turn them off. Because what happens is that people, they say, "Oh, earthquake, I better shut off my gas." Well, if your gas is not leaking and you don't smell it, don't turn it off, because then you have to wait till the gas company comes to turn it back on. And you would have had gas if you would have just taken a class and learned how to and when to shut off your utilities. You don't have to shut them off all the time unless the fire department tells you to, but just because there's an earthquake doesn't mean you have to turn it off automatically.
That's really important. And about the bug out bags, when I go to bed at night, I put my phone and my iPad in a backpack to charge. That way, if something happened in the middle of the night, I could just grab my backpack and I'd have those things with me.
Yeah, she does do that. That's a new thing that she just started. I don't know if you knew that, Anthony. I thought that was a little hack that Dominique had, so she gets all of her technology.
No, I mean, and you have to, because most of our stuff is on our iPads or our computers. So having it right next to you in a bag, ready to go, that's one of the best things you can do. Because the issue is that stuff gets messed up, it gets lost, and then. What about your important documents? You're not going to be able to get your house back. You're not going to be able to get your insurance going if everything's gone. So you really need to think about taking care of all those documents. Either put them on something online, or have a flash drive with you, or send it to your out-of-state contact. Whatever it is that you prefer, but make sure that you always have a copy.
Yeah. True.
Thank you so much, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
All right, let's take another little break. We've got new music. We've got new setup. Looking forward to sharing with you all here today. We'll be back with more after these messages.
You're simply the best.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back. This is Dominique Hackett with Teen Sports Radio. Thank you for joining us. I have a beautiful quote that I greeted my kids with. We have a group chat on Telegram, and I greeted them with this quote: "Happiness is not the absence of problems. It's the ability to deal with them." And I greeted them this morning with that, because sometimes people think that you can only be happy if you've solved all of your major problems, and that's not actually the case. And interestingly, one of my kiddos kind of took a little bit of a different approach on it, and he suggested that happiness is finding the pleasurable surprise, which is something that comes especially swift and often. And part of the reason why it's really important to talk about happiness is teens need to understand what happiness is, because it's kind of, out there wide and broad. Maybe happiness is having things. Maybe happiness is being in the perfect relationship. Maybe happiness is grade A's. And so I think it's really important to talk about what happiness really is. And I thought maybe our co-hosts could add to this.
Okay, Emily, I know you're just jumping out of your seat. You got value.
Yes. Well, Dominique, thank you so much. I've actually been reflecting on that this week, and I think this is such a key topic. And like you said, especially for teens, because there is so much emotion going on. Your hormones are fluctuating. There is so much that's happening emotionally for teenagers. And it's so important to get in touch with what happiness is for you. So when I was younger, I remember I had the nickname Smiley because I would always go around with a big smile on my face, right? And so, but I wasn't always happy. I was just trained to smile. And there is power, there is scientific power of the smile and how it can shift things. You know, people say, oh, well, just smile even if you don't feel well. But I actually don't, I don't think that that's the way that is as helpful as being really honest and getting in touch with what you feel. And so, I think that happiness is definitely an inside job and that you can cultivate joy through very simple ways. But I think that understanding and connecting with the full spectrum of emotion is really important. And because music is my vehicle and that I actually music and now fitness, I'm doing both of those. I think those are great vehicles to get in touch with your emotions and express them. And so I think that what's most important with emotions is that goal of being happy is very small. It is small on the spectrum. I think it's more important to be authentic and be connected with your emotions. And so that's how I would respond to that.
I love it. Don, I'm sure you've got some beautiful thoughts on happiness.
Yeah, there's two kinds of happiness. There's relative happiness and there's absolute happiness. Relative happiness is you have no transportation. All of a sudden, somebody gifts you a car. But those kind of things, you know, it's great until the car breaks down, then we're not so happy again. So those are kind of relative things. But what others have alluded to and what is necessary is a kind of an absolute happiness, a kind of condition in your life, a stability, a resilience, a cheerfulness in the face of whatever happens, which needs to be cultivated. And I always likened it to, I have old, you can probably see, you know, in the background there, the old wall heaters, you know, if the heater goes down, but the pilot light stays on, and I kind of liken it to hope. The pilot light is hope. So the heater may go down, but the whole thing can be relit as long as the pilot light is still going. So life will throw you all kinds of changes and curves, whatever, you know, we've talked about many times on this program about preparing for this and preparing for that. Anthony was just talking about, you know, disaster preparedness. We have to cultivate a life condition that's hearty and cheerful in the face of whatever happens. And this really is possible to do. But if it's not our tendency, then we think, oh, well, that's just the way we are. But that's not true. We can always enlarge our space. We can always become more like the mighty cosmos. You know, our little small part of the cosmos holds everything that the big cosmos has, and vice versa. The big cosmos holds everything that we could possibly throw at it. Is that making sense?
Yes, I love it. Christine, add to this beautiful happiness riff.
Okay.
A riff on happiness.
This is Christine Marie with A View from the Deck. What's that?
I was just going to say, put on your happy freaky.
I'm a happy freaky. Woo-hoo! I wanted to, what came to me from the beginning was that happiness is a choice. And I think that's a kind of at a certain point in time, when I was a child, I had one of the adults in my life would always say, you're choosing to be angry, you know, and I'd be like, I'm feeling anger right now, you know, and so, but it took me to be an adult to say that. But I think that there are ways that we can cultivate and really choose to see things in a specific way. I know that I was walking on the beach the other day and I was talking about how I loved, you know, fall in Santa Barbara. And this person says to me, well, that's just your favorite time right now. And I said, well, it's where I am right now. And I love it and I'm enjoying it. So I think at times for me, it's about acknowledging some of the other emotions like that Emily spoke about, being authentic, being where we are, but that those things can actually exist in our consciousness, in our being at the same time. We could be really angry or frustrated about something else in our lives and then see the most exquisite sunrise or a beautiful flower or something that taps in the heart. So for me, in times when I've been having a difficult time finding my happy, what's opened that for me is gratitude and seeing beauty in the world, and being open to that and making the choice to open myself to that feeling, because we have all of them, and they're all powerful emotions. Everything is so great, and we can utilize our emotions to move forward in our lives. Good, bad, ugly, beautiful, happy, sad. They're really all gifts. Yeah.
Yes. Definitely. Yeah. Well done.
And can I respond to that? Because I think that you were talking, Dominique, about that surprise, right? And so sometimes those things don't arise as we would hope them. They're not the positive surprises, like surprise, happy birthday, right? And so, but in that surprise, we do have that choice. And so sometimes it's like the universe is laughing with us. They're like, we're going to throw you this. What are you going to do about it, right? And so then it's like showing up in the face of that with a little bit of that sense of humor and that cosmic giggle joy, look at you, look what the universe did to me today. I wonder what is up with that, right? Instead of being like, oh my God, this happened to me. The other day, I bought this beautiful gift for somebody and I walked over to give it to him and it crashed to the floor and it just shattered. It was this glass, beautiful, sparkly thing. And I was just walking in to give the gift and it was just coming. And then, but I just laughed. I just thought, it's like that yoga laughter kind of thing. I just thought, okay, and it ended up being a fun story. And it just, so I think that's the adventure of life. It's not that it just comes together as we would hope, but all these disparate pieces are different characters in our life. And we can play. We can play with life. And I think that creates that lightness. And like Christine said, that gratitude. And like Dawn said, that cosmos is alive and pulsating in us through our emotions. So
I just think with kids, because we got to take a break, I think with kids right now, it's always good for them, at least daily, to find their center. And you can in the morning, just take 20 minutes for yourself, and then just let your, surf your feelings, surf your emotions. If you have to cry. If your mind is just going to wander, but if give yourself and no technology, no nothing, find a nice, quiet, safe space. I think if you did that every single day for mental health, I think for our kids today, with everything that they have going on in this climate, it's definitely worth it. We've got to take a break, but Angela, you have something quick to say?
I just wanted to share that about like bringing this back to what Christine was saying is giving our youth permission to feel what's going on. It may be happiness, it may be anger, it may be sadness, but when you start to acknowledge those feelings, you will experience happiness more fully. And because they all go together, all the feelings, and our youth today need to be given permission because they're like, they don't know what they're doing, what's going on. And it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad, to open yourself up and feel those feelings and figure out positive ways to help them to bring you back to the happiness, which is the best feeling of all.
Great. Let's take a little break. I've got to go check the Zoom room, but I think we are going to have Tom Reed. We're going to give it a little love to the Unity Shop right after these messages.
Well, now together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Together we'll stand, divided we'll fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, every girl, and a man.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
I'm Reed, Executive Director of the Unity Shop, and I've invited Erica Salda to be a part of my show today. Is that how this is supposed to go, Erica?
Exactly. Well, we love the Unity Shop, and for 12 years now, I've been blessed enough to get to know you and have really appreciated the Unity Shop. We've had the tour. You've got a lot going on right now, and I wanted you to share with the community what we can do for you and what's going on.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. You know, COVID was such a dramatic impact. We closed all of our programs and focused on emergency food distribution completely during COVID. And if you remember the early days, Erica, everybody was so uncertain as to how this thing spread, how contagion worked. You could be contaminated but not even know it with no symptoms. So we stopped having volunteers, and we traditionally have between 1,700 and 1,800 volunteers on site every year. So we just repurposed all of our employees to emergency food distribution and closed all the other programs, and then reoriented the food operation so that we didn't have clients go through the entire grocery store. You'd have to disinfect the whole thing routinely multiple times a day. So we reoriented things, actually increased our capacity, and did a great job still honoring choice, which is kind of the mantra at Unity Shop for dignity and self-esteem. So that worked out really well. Now we're back open again, and we're actually delivering groceries because we learned during COVID that there's a lot of seniors and disabled folks, people who don't have reliable transportation, even situations where you have generation skipping, where seniors are taking care of their grandkids, more mouths to feed, and fixed incomes. And so we realized that there's a real need to deliver groceries if you can do it the way Unity Shop does it, where you can choose. We're not just delivering a bag or a box of food. There's a lot of waste with that. And so we've implemented that new element to our program. But along the way, and I appreciate the opportunity to let you guys know what's going on, we lost our operations director, Barbara Tellefson. She had been with us for 50 years nearly. And everything you kind of see, touch, and feel, everything that you appreciated when you came through, Erica, and everybody else that takes a tour, they appreciate what Barbara Tellefson had devoted her entire life to, which was the Unity Shop. She brought Kenny Loggins in. She took it year-round. Pearl Chase had started it in 1917. But really, Barbara Tellefson made it what it is today. She passed away in November, this last November. And we have an estate sale this weekend. And if you know anything about Barbara Tellefson, she was a collector, and she did not mess around. She has the most eclectic collection of things, from antique toys to crank phonographs, players, to incredible furniture and jewelry, unbelievable stuff. So it's going to be this weekend, Saturday and Sunday from 8 to 2 is going to be really something at 679 Mission Canyon Road, right across from Rockwood Women's Center, right just adjacent to the Mission. She had a home. It's on 2.25 acres on Mission Canyon Road, and it's big, 7,000 square foot house built in 1907, and it is completely full of the most amazing things. So I think your community here in Santa Barbara, close by for sure, would love to come by and see that. I'll bet you'll find a treasure that would be surprisingly quite wonderful.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, she's a beautiful lady. I was blessed enough to have that tour by her, and she was just a powerhouse. I mean, she just radiated light. She was just really a believer, and she just got you involved just by shining her light to the program. She was just wonderful.
Well, she devoted her whole life to helping the less fortunate, and she had experienced a lot of that herself. She raised her younger brother and was kind of knew what it felt like to be a single mom and struggling to find resources and things that were needed. And she went out of her way to actually listen to what it feels like. She could identify with it, but she could also sense what it felt like to be on the receiving end. So often, with government and big programs, you're just trying to, from the top down, meet resources with needs and say, oh, good, we've done it. We fixed it. We got this stuff to those people there. Fine. Everybody's happy. Well, the people that are on the receiving end that are struggling financially or going through a difficult time or a crisis, they often feel like they're invisible and they have no voice and no one's really listening to them. And they certainly can't ever complain about getting something, anything, because then they might not even get that. And so Barbara went out of her way to actually interact and emotionally and personally connect so that people could actually communicate with her and with Unity Shop what were their preferences. Like the Chumash Indians, they used to get USDA government food that was not nearly what their preference was, and a lot of it was set aside, discarded, thrown away. And so Barbara went out of her way to get the kinds of foods that they would prefer. That's not rocket science. It's just devotion to doing a good job. And so that's kind of the mantra at the Unity Shop. We've done that, and we allow choice. And, the kids that come in, we want the heroes to be the parents, and the kids don't even realize that the parents aren't paying for it. It's all free of charge because these are families that are going through a very difficult time, and we want to be that safety net that keeps them from getting caught up into welfare or even going homeless. So that's Unity Shop, and that is Barbara Tellefson. Quite a legacy. She's devoted her entire life and all of her resources.
Well, I tell you, the toy section, when I remember like it was yesterday, and I looked at her and I said, this is better than any.
I agree.
Okay, I was shocked because you did not know. You just did. You had no clue if you were time warped. Any place that you looked around, you would not say, I'm in the Unity Shop. No, you'd think you're at Nordstrom's. I mean, it was beautiful inside. It was absolutely amazing. And I love that everybody gets a receipt. The thing that got me was everybody's checking out. You've got your kids, your loved ones with you, and you're handed a receipt. I love that. That was genius.
Well, we're running the barcodes. These are barcodes we have to put on there. So we're running those with scanners, which is exactly what happens at, Albertsons, Vaughn's, any other grocery store. And so it just feels normal. It feels like a regular place. And it doesn't look like what you noted there. It doesn't look like an institution or a charity. We want it to look more fun so that it's a good experience for the kids. And if the kids have a good experience, the parents feel better about life. And it's just, it's not impossible to do, but many people just don't take that extra effort to make it work that well.
She was an
So how can we help you? I know. Go ahead. Outside of going and participating at this function that you have this weekend, checks work, right? Or do you want food? Do you need, I know that the rice and the beans and all.
Yeah, food works. We can never get enough peanut butter. We can never get enough boxed cereal, healthy stuff. We can, canned meat, non-perishables. We'll need about 3,500 frozen chickens for the holidays. And turkeys. I mean, that's just what we're anticipating the need to be. People can tune into our, what we used to call the telethon is now the Unity Shop annual holiday celebration on December 11th, KUIT, from 4 o'clock to 8. They can see videos. I think Jeff Bridges is going to join us. Brad Paisley, Kenny Loggins for sure will host. And people can call in a donation, or just they can drop by a food donation, or even arrange for a little tour to see what Unity is all about at 1401 Chapala. That's our Family Services Center, and we love to show people what we do. I've had people that lived in Santa Barbara for 40 years and come down for a walkthrough, and they say, wow, I had no idea what Unity Shop's all about and how good it is. Our gift shop is another wonderful location at 1209 State Street. In the back of the gift shop, which is a gift and thrift, another beautiful opportunity to pick up some very unusual things at wonderful prices. But in the back is our Senior Resource Center. We take care of over 3,000 seniors back there in the most wonderful way. I want to tell you a lot about it, but it's just a fabulous program. Next door is at 1207, right next to the Benchmark Eatery there, is our furniture annex. If people buy a new couch and their old one is still good, they can donate it. And we have furniture in there that's incredibly well priced, beautiful stuff. 1209 State Street. And in that building is the Job Smart program, professional attire for people that have appointments for jobs, and also the long-term disaster recovery program that we take care of people if their house burns down. So, Unity is broadly based, taking care of people that are struggling and going through a difficult time. So we're very proud of it, and we'd love to share it. And any help, we don't get any government money, no state, federal. We don't even get United Way money. So it's just a community effort, quite beautiful, and businesses, individuals, and a little bit of foundation help. So we can't do it without the community. So we sure appreciate your help, Erica, in getting the word out.
Nice. Angela.
Barbara was an innovator because she realized that, everyone was created equal. And the only difference with the people that were coming into the Unity shop was that they needed food and they needed items. But she treated everyone equal. And that was the most amazing thing about her. So I just was very grateful to have her as a friend. And I think that, Tom, you're doing a wonderful job. And I look forward to seeing what's for sale at the estate sale.
There you go.
Well, I hope you can come by.
She'll be there.
In spirit.
Yeah, just what I need is one more item in my house. I don't. For those of you that have been to my home, I just don't think I have enough stuff. I need.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'm right behind you. Erica's
right behind me because I can look around and see. She needs some stuff.
Well,
too.
I've got an answer for both of you. You come down to to Barbara's place. You'll love seeing it. It has such wonderful character, and it just breathes Barbara Tellefson, and what her collections are quite remarkable. You'll find a treasure, and when you get home, you'll say, gosh, I don't really have room for this. I need to donate this other thing that I've had for a long time to the Unity shop, to the gift shop, so I can make room for what I just bought at Barbara's place.
Tom is actually a very good salesperson, as you can see, but he does a good job.
Okay, Tom, we got to go. All right. Anytime.
I do. I got a board
anytime, any way we can help you, we're here to support you. Okay. God bless you. Let's take a little break.
Bye.
All right. God bless all of you folks. Thanks for listening. Bye.
All right.
Thanks, Tom.
We'll be back in a few minutes after these messages.
Streets of Brazil, back in the USSR, way down in LA, every day, dancing in the street, crossing China too, me and you, dancing in the street.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back to Teen Sports Radio. This is Christine Marie with The View from the Deck, and I just wanted to give my one card that came out during our discussion today, and it's the Magician card, and I wanted it for people of all ages. What came to me, the words, we were talking about happiness, we were talking about different things. The sentence that came to me with this card is, life is not just what happens to us. Life is truly what is happening for us in every moment. And how do we take everything at our disposal, no matter how old you are, whatever you have, teens, young adults, older children, how do you take whatever elements are in your reality and move them to create your life with what happens for you? On to Richard Ellsworth.
This is Richard Ellsworth with the Braille Institute. I just finished teaching my first cooking class in this incredibly beautiful kitchen, and I'm thinking to myself, how lucky am I to have created all this? And as I'm thinking about my own happiness, I'm thinking about how people can turn some of the things that they do in their daily life to their advantage to make them happy too. And cooking is something that we all do on a regular basis. Food is something that is such an intricate part of our culture, but very often we're rushing about or we just want to get sustenance in. But it's something that can be just by taking a deep breath before you do it and looking at it as art instead of just as food. All of a sudden, you can milk all of this incredible positive energy and happiness right out of it. And it's something that you can share with your friends and your family. And it just continues to flourish and grow. And you can do that with all activities in every part of your life.
Nice. Well said. Well done. Another inside love for the Royal House. Abe Jahadami, athletic director with Abe Jahadami, and Shakir Ahmad. We're going to be looking forward to them every month, and we've got a whole lineup of other athletic directors. I hope you like this new feature to Teen Sports Radio. Santa Barbara, make somebody happy today. God bless. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Around.